15 times Rhinos messed with the wrong opponent. When raw strength meets the courage to get involved where it shouldn't, the result is epic. Get ready for breathtaking scenes, unexpected encounters, and lessons from those who refuse to be intimidated. Do you think you can guess who came out on top? But before we start, subscribe to our channel and leave your like. Now let's begin. Number 15, Rhino versus African Elephant. Imagine two forces of nature colliding. On one side, the Rhino, a 2 to 3 ton tank covered in thick armored skin and armed with a horn capable of piercing almost anything. On the other side, the African Elephant, the largest land animal on the planet, a living wall weighing 6 to 7 tons, equipped with ivory tusks and a trunk that combines brute strength with surgical precision. It's like putting a war tank face to face with a skyscraper on legs. Rhino power. The Rhino is not just weight, it's pure aggression. It can run nearly 50 km/h with tons of mass. Imagine the impact of a sharp horn charging like a missile-mounted spear. Its thick skin acts as natural armor, making bites and scratches from predators difficult. On top of that, it's a territorial and stubborn animal, meaning it doesn't back down easily. When it lowers its head, the whole world seems to shake. African Elephant supremacy. Now the elephant plays in another league. Not only is it 2 to 3 times heavier, but it also has tusks that act like twin spears, capable of splitting trees in half and lifting rivals off the ground. Its trunk is multifunctional. It can grab, pull, strike, and even strangle if necessary. And don't forget intelligence. Elephants are among the smartest animals in the wild, knowing when to attack, when to retreat, and how to use the environment to their advantage. Strength versus intelligence. While the Rhino relies on explosive power and fury, the elephant combines colossal strength with strategy. The Rhino is a brutal warrior, but predictable. The elephant is a general who, in addition to its massive size, has coordination and reasoning to turn the game around. Who comes out on top? Although the Rhino is incredibly resilient and dangerous in a frontal attack, the elephant is simply in another category. Its overwhelming size, multiple weapons, and intelligence make it the true titan of this duel. In a direct confrontation, the African elephant is the winner. And you, viewer, can you imagine this scene? The ground trembling, dust rising, two giants colliding like moving mountains. Now I ask you, if you were on the savannah witnessing this epic battle, would you root for the fearless tank or the intelligent wall? Choose your side, but beware, in this showdown, even the ground seems to be cheering for the elephant. Number 14, Rhino versus Hippopotamus. Imagine two African titans face to face, the Rhino and the Hippopotamus. Two animals that on their own command respect, but side by side spark irresistible curiosity. After all, who is stronger? Let's break down each point in this imaginary duel. The Rhino, the savannah's armored tank. The Rhino is practically a living tractor. It can weigh over 2 tons, covered in thick skin that acts like natural armor. But it's not just about size. It has a horn that can exceed half a meter, serving as both a piercing weapon and an intimidation tool. Moreover, the Rhino is surprisingly fast. It can reach up to 50 km/h, a terrifying speed for such a massive animal. In combat, it relies on devastating charges, using brute force and body mass like a hammer. But not everything is an advantage. Despite being resilient, the Rhino doesn't have the same agility in short maneuvers. Its attack is direct and linear. If it misses the strike, it can become vulnerable for a few seconds. And in a battle with a heavy rival, those seconds can make all the difference. The Hippopotamus, Lord of the Waters. The hippopotamus is the true lord of Africa's rivers. At first glance, it may seem like a lazy, rotund animal, but that image is deceptive. It can weigh up to 3.5 tons, surpassing the Rhino in mass, and has a mouth that opens 180 degrees, equipped with tusks up to 50 centimeters long. Its bite force is legendary, nearly 2 tons of pressure, capable of splitting a crocodile in half. Additionally, the hippo is extremely territorial and highly aggressive. Unlike the Rhino, it's highly agile in water and surprisingly fast on land, reaching up to 30 km/h. Not as fast as the Rhino, but still enough to cause damage. Its weak point, out of water, its sensitive skin requires constant hydration, and its body isn't as impact resistant as a Rhino's armor. Who is stronger? Face to face, you have the Rhino's speed and lethal horn on one side, and the hippo's crushing bite and massive body on the other. On land, the Rhino has the advantage. Its natural armor and swift charge can topple even even the toughest opponent. In water, the hippo would reign supreme, using aquatic mobility and jaws as its main weapons. Overall, considering strength, resilience, and offensive potential, the hippo is stronger. Its superior size, devastating bite, and explosive temperament make it one of the planet's most dangerous animals, surpassing the rhino in a direct confrontation. And now, viewer, after all that, I ask you, would you dare choose one of these giants as a backyard neighbor? Probably best to stick to watching documentaries. Rooting for the savannah tank is one thing, but imagining the colossal jaws of a hippo up close is another. So tell me, whose side would you be on in this duel? The rhino's relentless horn or the hippo's crushing jaws? Number 13. Rhino versus African buffalo. Imagine the African savanna, the sun blazing, and two brute forces facing each other, the rhino and the African buffalo, two living war tanks, armed to the teeth by nature itself. But who takes the crown in this titan showdown? Let's dissect the weapons, strategies, and advantages of each. The rhino. With up to 2 tons of pure muscle, this giant is practically an armored tractor. Its thick skin acts as natural armor, resistant even to bites from large predators. But the highlight is, of course, the horn. Some measure over a meter long and in combat become lethal spears. Moreover, the rhino can reach speeds of 50 km/h, which, for an animal its size, is like watching a freight truck accelerating toward you. Its weight, brute strength, and ability to smash anything in its path make it a true moving wall. The African buffalo. It's no wonder it earned the nickname Black Death in Africa. An adult male can weigh between 700 and 900 kilograms. Though smaller than the rhino, it compensates with agility, endurance, and above all, ferocity. Its weapons are thick, curved horns that form a kind of bony shield on its head, called a boss. This natural helmet can withstand violent impacts, turning the buffalo into a compact, explosive tank. Additionally, it doesn't fight alone. It lives in herds, and when provoked, dozens can charge together like furious cavalry. Courage is this animal's middle name. Even lions think twice before confronting a lone buffalo. Comparing the two, the rhino is bigger, heavier, and has superior offensive reach thanks to its long, sharp horn. It's like a medieval battering ram, able to crush anything in its path. The buffalo is lighter, but compensates with maneuverability, quick impact, and the protection of robust horns. Almost like a shield and sword combo built in. In a one-on-one confrontation, the buffalo would have a hard time resisting the rhino's devastating charge. However, in a group, buffaloes have a social advantage the rhino simply lacks. And the winner is, in a solo fight, the rhino comes out on top. Its colossal mass, speed, and lethal horn make it nearly unbeatable against a lone buffalo. The buffalo is brave, resilient, and deadly in a group, but alone, it cannot stop the touch-ton avalanche that the rhino represents. Now, let me tease you. If you were walking through the savannah and saw these two animals in the distance, which one would you root for? The armored tractor or the explosive tank? Be honest, cheering for the buffalo is like rooting for the underdog, while picking the rhino is siding with an unbeatable wall, so who would you choose? Number 12, rhino versus giraffe. Imagine the African savanna, sun blazing, hot wind swaying the tall grass, and two colossal figures catching the eye of any observer, the rhino and the giraffe. Two giants of nature, but with completely different life strategies and bodies. Putting these two animals face to face in a comparison is like asking who would win, the wall or the tower. The rhino. The rhino is an armored tank on 4 legs. Weighing between 2,500 and 2,300 kilograms, it carries a horn on its snout that can exceed half a meter. This weapon isn't just decorative. In territorial clashes with other rhinos, it has proven effective, piercing skin and bone. Its body is built for impact. Short, thick, muscular legs, a stiff neck, and thick skin like natural armor, capable of withstanding bites and scratches that would fell any smaller animal. The rhino also has an unpredictable temperament. Despite appearing calm while grazing, it is known for sudden aggression. It can charge at up to 50 km/h. Yes, a vehicle of more than 2 tons in motion. Once it decides to advance, it's hard to stop. Its brute strength is undeniable, and in any direct physical fight, it relies entirely on the resilience and destructive power of its horn. The giraffe now, on a completely different side of the natural arena, stands the giraffe, lighter than the rhino, but still enormous, weighing up to 1,200 kilograms. It is the tower of the savannah. Its main weapon is not a horn, claws, or tusks, but its legs. Each kick from a giraffe can generate enough force to break bones or even kill a lion. This is its elite defense. Additionally, its height gives it a strategic advantage. It can spot predators miles away, anticipating danger before it becomes real. The neck, the iconic symbol of the species, is also used in fights between males, known as necking. They swing their necks like hammers, striking opponents with heads reinforced by denser bone. It may look awkward, but this technique has taken down many rivals. The giraffe may not have the rhino's armor, but it has agility, wide vision, and deadly precision in its kicks. Comparing the giants, on one side, brute strength and natural armor of the rhino. On the other, surprising agility and strategic height of the giraffe. In a direct confrontation, however, the balance is uneven. The giraffe has incredible defensive weapons against lighter, agile predators. Against the rhino, though, the situation changes. The rhino's horn can pierce its belly or legs, vulnerable areas. The giraffe could try to use its kicks, but it would need space, time, and precision. The rhino, once it closes the distance, turns the contest into pure brutality. The winner, between the wall and the tower, the wall wins. The rhino, with its crushing strength, resilient skin, and natural horn weapon, takes the advantage over the giraffe in terms of combat power. The giraffe, though majestic and deadly to smaller predators, doesn't have the tools to withstand the rhino's impact and brutality. And you? Now tell me, which of these giants would you choose as a guardian if you were lost in the savannah? The indestructible wall or the vigilant tower that sees everything from afar? Think carefully, because depending on your answer, your next zoo visit might never be the same. Number 11, Rhino versus Lion, Pride. Imagine raw weight versus collective cunning. On one side, the rhino, a true tank of nature. We're talking about an animal that can exceed 2 tons of pure muscle, protected by thick skin that acts as natural armor. Its horn, which can reach over a meter, is not just decoration, it's a spear ready to pierce, throw, and intimidate. It doesn't need subtlety, its mere presence is intimidating. When it charges, it's not a run, it's an earthquake in motion. On the other side, the pride of lions, or rather, the coalition of supreme hunters. A single lion already carries the title of King of the Jungle, even though it lives in the savannah. But in a group, power multiplies. We're talking about coordination, strategy, and persistence. While the rhino relies on impact, the lions work with attrition. They attack in turns, encircle, dodge, and bite the most vulnerable areas. They know it's useless to try to topple the rhino head on, so they use collective intelligence and near military discipline. The rhino has a trump card, its absurd resistance. It can run nearly 50 km/h, and a single strike can break ribs or throw a predator into the air. But this strength comes at a cost: low maneuverability and high energy expenditure. The lions, in contrast, don't need to win in seconds. They have patience, work together, and know that victory is in the details. But who truly dominates this duel? If we're talking about a healthy adult rhino, the balance tips in its favor. Lions might risk an attack, but the cost is too high. Severe injuries and even deaths in the group. Usually they prefer smaller, safer prey. The rhino is a challenge that's not worth it, except in very rare cases. The pride cannot overcome this horn and skin wall. Therefore, the winner of this encounter is the rhino. Its combination of brute strength, near impenetrable defense, and territorial aggression places it above, even against the collective intelligence of lions. And now, tell me, would you dare face such a beast in the savannah? Or would you prefer watching from afar, binoculars in hand, heart racing? Because let's face it, if even the king of the jungle thinks twice, imagine us. Number 10, Rhino versus Bengal Tiger. Imagine 2 icons of nature face to face. On one side, the rhino, a true 4-legged tank forged from tons of pure strength and natural armor. On the other side, the Bengal tiger, the largest feline on the planet, symbol of agility, strategy, and silent brutality. This is no ordinary encounter. It's a clash between brute weight and lethal precision. Rhino, the African or Indian rhino, depending on the species, can exceed 2 tons. It's basically a living tractor covered by a thick hide that acts as natural armor against bites and scratches. Its main weapon, in the horn, made of keratin, the same protein as human hair but compressed into a deadly spear. It can measure over a meter and pierce enemies like cardboard. Moreover, its impact force is devastating. A charging rhino can reach up to 50 km/h. Imagine this block of muscle, bone, and rage colliding with something smaller. It's like a car hitting a motorcycle at full speed. However, the rhino isn't perfect in combat. Despite its power, it lacks agility. Its vision is poor, which can make it vulnerable to strategic attacks. But honestly, when the enemy is crushed before even noticing, vision doesn't seem to be a big problem. Bengal tiger. On the other side, the striped feline that reigns over the jungles of India and Bangladesh. The Bengal tiger can weigh up to 250 kilograms, the largest and most powerful of the big cats. Its bite is one of the strongest in the animal kingdom, capable of piercing bone, and the claws, sharp blades that can tear deep into an opponent with a single strike. Additionally, the tiger is a master of stealth, attacking from surprise with calculated leaps and quick strikes. It is the embodiment of predatory efficiency. Where it aims, it hits. Where it hits, it destroys. The tiger also possesses keen intelligence. Unlike the rhino, it doesn't rely solely on brute force, but on strategy. It chooses where to bite, where to claw, and uses agility to tire the opponent. However, against a giant like the rhino, the question is, are its skill and bites enough to penetrate that wall of muscle and thick skin? Analyzing the confrontation. On one side, tons of force with a piercing weapon. On the other, agility, strategy, and surgical attacks. The tiger could try to hit vulnerable points, eyes, belly, or tendons in the legs to limit the rhino's movements. But there's one problem: getting there without being crushed. One precise strike or charge from the rhino could turn the tiger into an instant memory. The tiger is lethal against smaller prey, like buffalo, deer, or even crocodiles. But against a healthy adult rhino, the imbalance is obvious. The rhino doesn't need elaborate technique. It just needs to hit. The tiger would need time, patience, and a perfect scenario, and even then, the chances of victory are minimal. And the winner is, without a doubt, the rhino takes this one. The tiger may be the supreme predator of the jungle, but in a direct fight, no stealth can withstand tons of armored muscle and bone guided by a lethal horn. And you, viewer, imagine it. The rhino is like that big, imposing friend no one dares provoke, while the tiger is the quick, clever brawler of the group. But when the blow lands, who stays standing? That's right. I hope you're not betting on the tiger this time, because the zebra is already painted with the wrong stripes. Number 9. Rhino versus Kodiak bear. Imagine the savannah meeting the cold forests of Alaska. Two different worlds, two colossal giants of nature face to face. The African rhino, a 2-ton fortress on 4 legs, versus the Kodiak bear, a predator of up to 700 kilograms that combines brutality, intelligence, and refined hunting instinct. The rhino is practically a living war tank. Its body is armored with thick skin, almost like medieval leather armor, capable of withstanding bites, claws, and even human spears in ancient times. On the front line, the horn, a keratin spear that can exceed 60 centimeters. It doesn't need complex strategy. A single charge is equivalent to a moving concrete wall. Brute force is its signature. The Kodiak bear, sovereign of Alaska's islands, is one of the largest bears on the planet. Standing upright, it can surpass 3 meters in height, sporting claws like curved blades capable of ripping through logs and bones. But it's not just muscle. The Kodiak has keen predatory intelligence, knowing how to analyze opponents, choose the right moment, and strike where it hurts most. Its body isn't as heavy as the rhino's, but it is extremely agile for its size. In short bursts, it can reach up to 50 km/h. In terms of endurance, the rhino is nearly unbeatable. It doesn't tire easily. Its structure is built for long distances and territorial confrontations. The bear, though strong and fast, relies on energy bursts. After a few minutes, its stamina drops. But in versatility, the Kodiak has the advantage. It bites, tears, grapples, and repositions. The rhino, on the other hand, is basically a single attack weapon, charge and horn. When it comes to immediate lethal power, the rhino impresses. A single impact can pierce and crush simultaneously, ending the fight in seconds. The Kodiak, no matter how brutal, would struggle to penetrate the rhino's armored hide fast enough to bring it down. Even powerful bites and fierce scratches would have limited effect against that armored colossus. The winner, in a hypothetical battle battle, the Rhino comes out on top. Its mass, strength, and endurance surpass the Kodiak's brutality. The Kodiak may be impressive against nearly any opponent in its habitat, but against a Rhino, it faces an enemy built to endure and deliver destruction on an epic scale. Now tell me, who would you bet on in this matchup? Did you imagine the bear climbing onto the Rhino like a raging bull, or already pictured the Rhino sending the brown giant flying with a single kick? Number 8. Rhino versus brown bear. Imagine two giants of the animal kingdom facing off. The Rhino, the armored tank of the African savanna, and the brown bear, the colossus of the northern forests. Each carries a set of natural weapons that would make any predator think twice before approaching. But what if we analyzed a showdown between these two forces of nature? The Rhino, the living wall, weighing up to 2,300 kilos. The Rhino is pure mass and power. Its main weapon, the horn, which can exceed 1 meter in length, functioning as a spear ready to pierce or repel any threat. Its skin is up to 5 centimeters thick, almost like natural armor against bites, scratches, and impacts. Its body strength is brutal. It can run up to 50 km/h, and when it puts all that weight in motion, it becomes practically an out-of-control truck. To top it off, its endurance is legendary. Few animals can bring down a healthy adult Rhino. It is literally a walking fortress. The brown bear, the mountain gladiator. On the other side, the brown bear, a predator combining strength, intelligence, and ferocity. It can reach 600 kilos, which is enormous, but still far below the Rhino's weight. But don't be fooled, this animal is a mix between an MMA fighter and a marathoner. Its forelimbs are equipped with sharp claws up to 10 centimeters long, capable of splitting tree trunks like butter. Its bite is also devastating, reaching 1,160 psi, stronger than a lion's. And its versatility, the bear is agile, swims, runs, climbs, and adapts to almost any environment. Its intelligence is also a weapon. It knows when to attack, how to intimidate, and when to retreat. Comparing the Titan's brute force, clear advantage for the Rhino. Its weight and body mass are unmatched. Natural weapons, Rhino has horn and armor. The bear has claws and teeth. Here the bear wins in variety, but the Rhino wins in endurance. Agility. The bear is more versatile and can change strategies quickly. The Rhino is straightforward. Charge, ram, and trample. Combat intelligence. Point to the bear, which can improvise more than the Rhino, relying on physical impact. The winner. Despite the brown bear's ferocity, the size and weight difference is overwhelming. A healthy adult Rhino is practically invulnerable to the bear. No matter how sharp the bear's claws or powerful its bite, it simply can't pierce the Rhino's thick armor or withstand a multi-ton impact. Thus, in this clash of titans, the Rhino takes the championship title. Now it's your turn. Who would you bet on, the African tank or the forest gladiator? Honestly, if I saw them face to face, the only thing I'd do is run and hope to be far away when horns and claws start shining in the heat of battle. Number 7. Rhino versus polar bear. Imagine the unlikely encounter between two forces of nature, the Rhino, lord of the African savannas, and the polar bear, icy sovereign of the Arctic. Two giants separated by continents and climates, yet each carries an impressive arsenal of survival and combat tools. On one side, the Rhino, a armored colossus with over 2 tons of muscle and bone wrapped in skin that resembles tank leather. Its most iconic weapon, the keratin horn, capable of piercing and tearing with crushing power. Its speed is surprising too. Despite its massive body, it can reach up to 50 km/h in a charge. In terms of brute strength, we're talking about a true living battering ram. Few animals in the world can withstand the impact of an enraged Rhino. On the other side, the polar bear, lighter in weight, but no less ferocious, exceeding 600 kilos of pure strength. The largest terrestrial carnivore is a refined hunting machine for frozen extremes. Its enormous paws not only help it swim for kilometers in search of prey, but also function as sharp weapons. Claws capable of splitting seals in half, and a bite exceeding 200 psi, enough to crush bones easily. Moreover, the bear is incredibly agile for its size, moving in almost complete silence before striking. In a theoretical showdown, the Rhino has the advantage in weight, endurance, and physical impact. It's an unbeatable tank that uses its mass as both shield and sword. The polar bear excels in intelligence, agility, and hunting technique, adapted to take down prey often faster than itself. Its bite and claws would cause damage, but piercing the rhino's thick skin and musculature would be nearly impossible. The winner, Rhino. Now tell me, viewer, did you root for the polar bear or the rhino? If you had to bet, better choose the side of the African tank. After all, who in their right mind would face a 2-ton wall with a sharp horn pointed at them? Yep, hope you're on the right side of the savannah. Number 6. Rhino versus Nile crocodile. Imagine the encounter of two African titans. On one side, the rhino, a wall of muscle covered with natural armor. On the other, the Nile crocodile, the last survivor of a lineage of prehistoric predators, with jaws capable of turning bones into dust. This isn't just any battle, it's the contrast between terrestrial brutality and aquatic cunning. The rhino. This colossus can exceed 2 tons, a true biological tank. Its body is supported by thick legs built to withstand violent clashes. The horn, made of compacted keratin, is its living spear, capable of piercing, tearing, and pushing any enemy in its path. Contrary to popular belief, it's not just brute force. It can reach speeds of up to 50 km/h, turning that massive body into a destructive projectile. In terms of defense, its skin is thick and resistant, almost like natural armor, difficult to penetrate even for the sharpest jaws. The Nile crocodile. On the other side, we have the ambush master. The crocodile is a patient predator, able to remain motionless for hours, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Its jaws are among the strongest in the animal kingdom, applying tons of pressure per square centimeter. If it grabs a leg or the snout of its opponent, it initiates the famous death roll, a technique that shreds flesh and bone in seconds. Its greatest weapon, however, is its environment. In the water, it's almost invisible, a ghost that emerges suddenly. Out of water, though, it loses mobility, limited to quick, low attacks. Comparing strengths, in a direct fight, the rhino has the advantage on open ground. Its strength, size, and endurance are nearly insurmountable obstacles for a crocodile on dry land. In water, the balance shifts. The crocodile gains mobility, can approach unnoticed, and can strike with sudden force. The problem, the rhino's massive body is not easy for even such a lethal reptile to control. A colossal mistake from the rhino would be required for it to become prey. The winner? Despite the crocodile's ferocity, the rhino is simply too big, heavy, and powerful to be subdued. In brute strength and endurance, it dominates. The crocodile is a river monster, but the rhino is a wall wherever it stands. Result, victory for the rhino. Now tell me, if you were walking near an African river and had to choose who to encounter, would you rather face the 2-ton armored wall or the sneaky dinosaur hiding in the water? I know, neither seems great, but come on, admit it. Which one would you have the best chance of running from? Number 5. Rhino versus African wild dog. Pack. Imagine the African savanna, the sun scorching the dry ground and the wind carrying the scent of wildlife. On one side, the rhino, a walking wall weighing between 2 to 2.5 tons with thick armor-like skin and a powerful horn ready for defense. On the other side, a pack of African wild dogs, formidable in numbers, agile and strategic, each weighing about 20 to 30 kilograms, but together a coordinated and lethal swarm. Physical strength, the rhino has an overwhelming advantage. A single horn strike can cause serious injury to almost any terrestrial predator. Its massive build makes direct physical attacks almost useless. The wild dogs, on the other hand, rely on numbers and speed. Alone, they're fragile, but in a pack, they can surround, wear down, and confuse larger prey. Speed and agility. Here, the pack dominates. Each dog is agile and fast, capable of quick direction changes, precise leaps, and long runs without losing stamina. The rhino is surprisingly fast for its size, reaching up to 50 km/h in short bursts, but it cannot maneuver with the same dexterity as the dog's intelligence and strategy. African wild dogs are masters of cooperative hunting. They communicate, flank, isolate, and attack in coordination, using fatigue and confusion to their advantage. The rhino, although intelligent enough to perceive threats, relies primarily on brute strength and quick reflexes. Endurance. The rhino has impressive stamina. It withstands repeated attacks, with thick skin and robust muscles protecting vital organs. The pack, however persistent, tires over time and needs to rest and rotate. Natural weapons. The dogs have powerful jaws and teeth adapted to grab and tear, but against an adult rhino's skin, their effectiveness is greatly reduced. The rhino's rhino's horn and powerful legs are direct weapons capable of instantly repelling smaller predators. Size and psychological impact. Visualizing the rhino alone is intimidating. Even in a group, the dogs may hesitate in front of over 2 tons of mass charging toward them. The psychological factor is significant. The instinctive respect for the rhino's power is enormous. Conclusion: in a direct fight, without tricks or terrain traps, the rhino would undoubtedly win. The pack can test, surround, and even cause minor injuries, but they cannot overthrow or defeat an adult rhino alone. Nature's logic is clear. Numbers and strategy help, but the pure mass and strength of a rhino are nearly insurmountable. And now, my friend Mental Savannah Explorer, can you imagine betting against a rhino with a pack of African wild dogs? I bet you felt that chill in your stomach. It's like challenging a tank with a bunch of bicycles. Fun in theory, but in practice, my friend, the rhino delivers. Number 4. Rhino versus hyenas. Clan. The rhino is a true tank of the savannah, weighing between 2,500 and 2,500 kilos with thick leather-like skin and a powerful horn. It is practically unbeatable in brute force. Its endurance is impressive, even serious injuries hardly bring it down, and its charge can devastate any individual predator. Its short-distance speed, up to 50 km/h, allows for surprise attacks and strategic retreats when necessary. On the other hand, the clan of hyenas compensates for individual lack of strength with collective intelligence, endurance, and a powerful bite, up to 1,000 psi, capable of breaking bones. They are highly coordinated and can pressure larger prey, attacking from multiple angles and wearing down the opponent. Their agility and stamina make them formidable hunters, especially in groups. Combat points: physical strength, rhino 1010, hyenas 510, speed and agility, rhino 610, hyenas 910, endurance, rhino 1010, hyenas 810, natural weapons, horn versus bite, rhino 910, hyenas 710, group strategy, rhino 510, hyenas 1010. Overall, even with the advantage of numbers and strategy, the hyenas face an almost insurmountable physical barrier. The rhino alone has the strength, endurance, and natural weapons to defend against coordinated attacks. It is practically unbeatable when aware and on open ground. Winner, rhino. And now, let's have a little fun with you, viewer. Imagine having to bet your chips on a rhino or a pack of hungry hyenas. Would you side with the horn tank or the agile, persistent crew? Number 3. Rhino versus Siberian tiger. The rhino is a true walking fortress. Weighing over 2 tons, its skin is almost armored and resistant to superficial attacks, while its powerful horn and immense strength make it a formidable opponent. It has surprising speed for its size, reaching nearly 50 km/h, and a natural defensive posture that protects it from smaller predators. In combat, its endurance and ability to inflict crushing damage with quick charges are its main strengths. The Siberian tiger, on the other hand, is a master of agility and strategy. Weighing around 300 kilos, it's smaller but extremely agile and fast, capable of precise movements and lethal attacks with claws and teeth. Its strength is proportional to its size, and combined with its solitary hunting instinct, it can bring down large prey with strategic bites to the neck or vital points. However, its smaller size and lower endurance in prolonged confrontations can be disadvantages against an armored giant like the rhino. Hypothetical combat score: rhino, raw strength 95-100, endurance 90-100, speed 70-100, natural defense 95-100, Siberian tiger, strength 70-100, endurance 65-100, speed 90-100, agility strategy 95-100. Adding up the points, it's clear that in pure strength and endurance, the rhino dominates. It's practically a walking wall. Even with the tiger's cunning, going head to head is challenging. Winner, rhino, a true natural tank combining brute strength, endurance, and surprising speed. Now, between you and me, have you imagined trying to outrun an angry rhino or hide from a hungry Siberian tiger? Better admire from afar, right? Nature is amazing, but safety comes first. Number 2. Rhino versus white. Rhino, usually black rhino, weight 800-400 kilos, height 1.4 to 1.8 height made at the shoulder, physical strength very high, capable of carrying and knocking down large obstacles with body and horn speed, 40-50 km/h in short bursts, surprisingly fast for its size. Agility, moderate. Can make sharp turns for its size. Defense, thick skin resistant to external attacks. Sharp horn for offense and defense. Combat instinct, territorial and aggressive when threatened, usually attacks head-on combat score, 8 to 10, white rhino weight, 1/800 to 2,500 kilograms, height 1.7 to 2 meters at the shoulder, more robust body, physical strength, extremely high, massive body capable of pushing and crushing larger obstacles than the black rhino speed, 40 kilometers H, almost equal to the black rhino despite larger size agility, slightly lower due to weight, but still effective defense, thick, strong skin, long horns that can inflict serious damage. Combat instinct, generally calmer than black rhinos, but highly resistant when provoked. Combat score, 9-10. Final comparison, brute strength. White rhino has the advantage due to larger size and weight speed and agility. Black rhino slightly more agile, but not enough to overcome white rhino's strength. Defense. Both have thick skin, but the white rhino's size adds extra advantage. Combat instinct, black rhino more aggressive, but the white rhino compensates with resistance and size. Probable winner, white rhino, mainly for superior size and endurance. And you, viewer, if you think size doesn't matter, check out the weight difference. But be careful, if you encounter either in the wild, it's best to smile from afar and run. Number 1, rhino versus wild water buffalo. Rhino size and weight, 1/800 to 2,500 kg, a true living tank. Brute strength, muscular legs and sharp horn allow it to push, knock down, or pierce almost any obstacle-resistant skin. Natural armor up to 5 cm thick protects against bites or horn attacks. Short burst speed, can reach 50 km/h in short sprints, ideal for sudden charges. Wild water buffalo size and weight, 700 to 1,000 kg, smaller than the rhino, but still impressive strength and endurance. Extremely tough, able to withstand attacks and keep moving. Curved horns can cause serious injuries. Relative agility, more agile than the rhino in lateral movements and quick direction changes, enabling evasive maneuvers and strategic charges. Fury and unpredictability, highly territorial, won't hesitate to attack if threatened, which can unbalance slower opponents. Combat points, comparison, brute strength, rhino 9-10 versus buffalo 7-1 endurance, rhino 8-10 versus buffalo 9-10 agility, rhino 6-10 versus buffalo 8-10 natural weapons, horn, rhino 9-10 versus buffalo 8-10 intimidation, rhino 9-10 versus buffalo 7-10 final winner, rhino. Its combination of size, strength, and natural armor usually overcomes the wild water buffalo's resistance and agility. And you, curious viewer, if you were in the savannah, which of these monsters would you bet on? I confess I'd be running to find a hiding spot, or at least a good pair of binoculars. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed our content, subscribe to our channel and leave a like. Also, check out other interesting content popping up on your screen right now, and I'll see you in the next video. Until next time.